Now to Walter Sognnes, who's the CEO of Loke Marine Minerals. He joins us live now from Stavanger. Good to have you with us, Walter. We hear a lot about the potential for deep-sea mining in the Pacific and the ongoing debate and controversy about that. This is for Norwegian waters. What would you expect to extract there?
Yeah, in Norwegian waters, thank you so much first for inviting me. In Norwegian waters, we will have a slightly different type of deposits than in the Pacific. So here we have the so-called manganese crust, which are quite thick in Norway, and they are highly enriched with cobalt and several other rare earth minerals needed for the green transition. And then we have the sulfides, the seabed massive sulfides, which have copper, zinc, and cobalt. So that's the minerals we have in Norway.
You'll know that there's been endless controversy about this. There's a huge amount of opposition to it. And their argument is that very little is known about the deep sea bed and that we need to close that knowledge gap before we start issuing licenses like this. Are we putting the cart before the horse? We should be doing more scientific research to totally understand what's at stake.
Well, I think we can do both. I mean, we agree with also what the Norwegian state says, that we should have a precautionary principle on this. We agree that there are knowledge gaps especially on the environment, but also on the resources, especially in Norway. So the way we will do it in Norway is that the industry, together with the government and research institute, will spend the next, say, 5 to 8 years exploring for the resources and at the same time map the deep and marine environment. And
so you mean exploring but not extracting?
Exactly, not extracting, because although in one way there is a green light for extracting also, but first we need to find the resources and see that are commercial, and then we will need to have a plan presented for the parliament with also an impact study assessment to show that this can be done with an acceptable impact on nature.
But nobody in Europe, and you're a lone voice in Europe, the EU Commission has expressed strong concerns about the environmental impact of the plans. 120 European parliamentaries have written an open letter to Norwegian Parliament asking them to vote against it. They said that the assessment conducted by the Norwegian government has too many gaps. Then, and this is important, more than 800 ocean scientists have called for a pause on deep-sea mining globally, not this kind of legislation that allows it to proceed. So what is it that you and parliamentarians in Norway who aren't deep-sea scientists, aren't marine biologists, know that those scientists don't?
Well, I think you have to say that the moratorium which people are talking about is for mining and not for moratorium for exploration. And in Norway, there will be a long phase with exploration, and we all agree we need more data. But at the same time, we know that the green transition will need a huge amount of minerals. And when you say no to something, you're saying yes to something else. As we know, for instance, that significant part of new nickel will come from Indonesian rainforest. So we think that the offshore oil and gas industry has the technology to harvest or to mine or explore and mine for the deep sea mineral. That's what we like to see, make the chance to see if we can achieve. By saying no, we will not be able to even test out our theory, also to see if we can develop technology. And for our company, we see already we have made big achievement on coming up with technology, both on exploration and actually on production, that minimize the environmental impact. And we would like to work together with others to show what we are doing.
Okay. Many, though, of course, very worried about the legacy that you're setting here. But we'll leave it there for now. Walter, Sognnes, appreciate that. Thanks very much indeed for joining us here in Al Jazeera.